Hi everyone, Tickled Pink here, Moonglow here, and today we're going to talk about, were we about were we knocking off strawberry shortcake? And at first, a lot of folks are going to say, "Oh yeah, you were," but then but then okay, all right, we're cast kids or cast workers and we're not named after, sweets or cakes or anything like that. So, how could we be knocking them off? And we happen to be friends with some of those folks as well. Oh, yeah. And a hair is a sty, and once your hair comes a sty, no need how much. Whatever, someone runs a finger through it, runs a comb, runs a brush through it, it never goes back to the way it was when you got it out of the box. Oh yeah, and that's what talking about some of these folks out here, Tinkle Pink. You're right. Let's talk about some of these doll gatherers who like to keep things in boxes. They're like, oh, I got to keep the doll in a box because one day if I ever draft it in or sell it, I'll get more gals for it than I yielded for it when I bought it back in the day or when I bought it from eBay or Etsy or whatever. And the truth is, you're only going to get the worth that you believe it is. You're not going to get the true sale worth that it was sold by the shop back in the day. And you're not going to get the same worth for it that some seller on eBay or Etsy had it going for. So, yeah. And leaving them in the box does more harm to them than helps them. All right? Because we have gotten dolls. Well, not rag dolls to say, but we have gotten dolls who were still in their box for years. And then when you take those twisty things out of, either off their neck or more like off their feet or their arms, or the things that bind their heads in and half their hair comes out, yeah, because they were in the box too long. All right? And the box over time starts to do harm to the doll. Those little twisty things, it starts to do harm to the doll. I don't care if you think I don't care if you think that it's going to get more worth out of it if you keep it in a box. That's your own business. But at the end of the day, the box is going to do more harm to the doll than being out of box would do to it. Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, you're right. Yeah, you're right about that, Moonglow. I mean, you got folks who have this belief that if they keep it in a box, oh, well, they'll get more worth for it if they ever have to sell it or draft it in or whatever they're going to do with it. I just never understood those folks. And these are the same folks that look down on folks like us and said, oh, you took it out of the box, it lost its worth. Yeah, but then again, we're not going to be sold to someone else. We're not going to be given away or drafted away or whatever. So yeah, who cares? You know, the dolls were meant to be taken out of the box, shown off, played with, whatever. So why a lot of you folks are against that, I don't know. Is it only and it's not and it always seems to be sorry, whoa. No, thanks a lot. I'm sorry about that. Alright, it always seems to be why am I not straight? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it always seems to be someone from the doll gathering that always seems to believe that. But look, we're out of the box. And yeah, we may have lost some of our worth and your belief. But hey, we're being played with, we're being shown off, and we're not being stuck in some box where shit can happen to it. You know? Yeah, you know, we dolls always get bad hair days, and it happens every day. And you can brush and comb all you want. The hair's never going to go back to the way it was. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right about that, Tickled Pink. I mean, my hair is already starting to get styed, and I've only been here since what, the 7th month? But and you've been here like what, since we'll say what, the 5th month or something like that. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, another bind with being a doll is once your hair gets binded, that's it. Someone can run their finger through it. They can give you a brush, but the hair is never going to go back to the way it was when you first got out of the box. And no, that's not some kind of, oh, keep it in the box bullshit. Because I know some of you out there are going to say, see, yeah, and if we told you keeping the dolls in a box too long does more harm to them than it does to help them. And yeah. And I know this fairway doesn't get a lot of folks looking or watching the films. And I know you don't get a lot of looking or watching, for playing with dolls. But then as trolls like to say it as a slight, on you. But the folks who do watch our films and do like our films and have something good to say about the work, well, we say thank you for that. And thank you for listening to us bitch, I guess, or rant, or just talk about a bind of being a doll, or at least a rag doll. I mean, we spent time ranting about folks who like to keep dolls in boxes and then somehow offshoot into getting bad hair days. you know. But yeah. And yeah, sorry for like clearing a throat. There's nothing clearing throat I can never do nothing I can do about that one. All right. I got really nothing else to go on. You got anything else to go on? Anything else to say before we end this film? No, I truly don't. All right. So, all right, give this film a like, share and playlist it, and we'll see you later.